So start off by defining your time. Academically, what are the tasks, components, the things that you have to do as a student that will take up your time? A great place to start is by looking at your course outline. You can find information about your assessments, right? When are your tests, your midterms, your exams? When are lectures? When are your labs and tutorials? Quizzes being scheduled, readings that need to be completed, etc., etc. But there is more, right? Then we have the components of academics that happen outside of lecture. And that lecture, whether it's in person or whether it's online, right? Those components of learning happening during the lecture. These pieces are the stuff that you're responsible for outside of the lecture. We often recommend students to think of a ratio of 1 lecture hour is going to require anywhere from 1 to 3 hours outside of lecture to complete other academic related tasks. So reviewing or previewing textbook chapters, slide decks, your PowerPoints from your professors, checking in to see if you've understood the material that you learned in lecture, doing practice problems, self-testing, reviewing the material, creating summary notes, studying. Those are all components that are going to happen outside of lecture or lab or tutorial times, but are still really important. And then what takes up your time outside of academics? If those were all the pieces that we were looking at connected to your courses, what are the things that are taking up your time outside of academics? So if you're part of any USC clubs, right, you want to ensure that you are staying physically active, have some social community components to your life. You are taking downtime, you're eating and sleeping. These are all things that we don't necessarily think about, but they're using up our time. So these are things that we can find or use in our planner, in our calendar, right? The academic stuff, a lot of that came from our course outlines and thinking from that lens. And this information, that personal stuff, is coming from, our personal agenda. In terms of then just finding out, like, where is my time going? You can grab from our website, learning.uwo.ca, one of our weekly calendars that you'll find there. And take some time to see where your time's going, right? Add up all of your class hours, remembering that 1 lecture time to 1 to 3 hours outside of lecture for learning, that ratio. Those are the study hours that you're going to add up. When are you sleeping? When are you eating? When are you getting outside, doing some activities, exercise? When you think of how many hours are in the week, and then you add up all of those hours, then you have a sense of how much time is dedicated to academics, to personal, and you have a better sense of where your time's going.